Hey guys, welcome back to Outside the Box with Lala and the collective by Crystal Couture Lab. Yes, guys, we have a special for you guys today. Please join in on the conversation and happy Black History Month. We are talking about Black History Month, some of the good details. Thank you for joining.
Hey guys, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to Outside the Box with Lala and Crystal.
Crystal Mother Couture Jackman. Hey.
Hey. First and foremost, we just want to say happy Black History Month. Happy Black, just in general. And also because it's Black History Month, if you guys see my shirt, it's a Manifest. Put there. I can't see it. Put there, plan in motion,
and manifest that thing.
And manifest it. My sister actually have her own label and she do beautiful designs and stuff. So please, you guys check her out. The name of her IG, which I'm gonna put right here, is called Put Your Name on It. Whatever you want, she do it. She's amazing. Sis, I love the shirt. Oh, and also I'm getting other things done as my charity. You Are Not Forgotten. She's doing a couple of those for me, and I might be giving some of those out. We'll see.
She's for my business as well, and I love it.
Yes, go ahead.
This paper. Hold on.
Yes, yeah.
Because she did them in that I love her.
Thank you for showing that too. She also make little fanny packs for me and masks for me, which I think some of y'all seen the mask. She also make amazing things for Miss Crystal and her couture lab, and she just do an amazing job. So please follow her on her IG if you need anything done, especially because it's Black History. She got some stuff going on. Please check her out. She's amazing. You know. All right. So our topic today is about this lake called Lake Lanier. Crystal, because you moved to Atlanta, this is how I found out about this whole thing about Lake Lanier. Miss Crystal. We're so much alike. She found out about the history behind Lake Lanier and how it's just a tragedy what's going on, what happened in Lake Lanier, and people are still swimming in that lake, still partying in that lake, and it is a lot of, it's haunted. People say it's haunted, there's a lot of death and stuff. So, Crystal, can you give a little background before we get into the deep story of Lake Lanier?
Yes, so this general Lake Lanier is in Forsyth County, Georgia. It is near Cummings, Georgia, which is the town. Cummings, Georgia was a sundown town. And if you don't know what a sundown town is a town that when the sun went down, Black people should not be out because they will come and kill you. So Lake Lanier used to be OxfordVille, Georgia, which was a town. It was another thriving Black community, similar to Tulsa. But even before that, it was inhabited by natives. And the natives was also ran out and killed by white people. And this town was a thriving Black community. Some white woman cried a rape, and they ended up running out all of the Black people or killing them. And
don't give the whole story because I'm about to give the background of it.
So that's the back. That's the back. So it was a town, Oscarville, Georgia, and now it's a lake.
I'm gonna go into the deep story of it because yes, this lake is haunted, and there's a lot of stories behind all the different things that happen in around this lake, right? Mm-hmm. So Lake Lanier is in Georgia, one of the most haunted racist county. So that's what they say. It's really a racist county. The original name for the city, right, was it city? Oscarville, Georgia, in 1870, 40 miles north city of ATL. Most of the black people who lives there are local farmers who are free slaves. They also help the white farmers with their crops and different things in that nature. So, so many white supremacists hated the black people in their town. They just hated them for no reason. We know about white supremacists in the background behind them. So one day, it was a woman. Her name is Ellen Wright. You need to look her up. Ellen Wright is a white woman. She was 22 at the time, and she loved coming to this she's coming to this city and want to seduce a lot of black men. She seduced some black men, but she couldn't seduce all of them. So she cried rape, right? She cried rape, and she said that 5 black men was trying to rape her. She was scared because they actually say that they was going to tell what she's doing in the city and how she's, being a thought. Okay, y'all want to thought? Look it up. Those who know thoughts, you know what I mean. But she was being a thought, and she was scared because she had a wealthy husband who was a farmer. So she said that, she cried rape. Actually, she did cry rape, and she said that 5 black men was trying to rape her.
She wanted to have sex with them, but they said no.
She had sex with,
consensually. They had sex with black men consensually, but these particular people she wanted to have sex, and they said no.
With her.
Because that then is still consensual or not, it's still extremely dangerous for
because a black man to have sex with, to do anything with a white woman. So the cops was called. 5 black men was held captive. It was a pastor. His name was Grant Smith. This pastor was a loving pastor, known around the Georgia, and everybody loved her. But everybody loved him. However, because he was a black man, and he was advocating for these 5 black men, they're saying that this is not true. This is what she do, and he went on a rampage of who she is. The city of what's the name of this?
Oscarville.
No.
Atlanta.
Yeah, the city of Atlanta. No, is it Octorville? Yeah. The city of Octorville did not like it, and they wanted to lynch these 5 black men. To me, she falsely accused them, right? She falsely accused them, but because she was white, they allow her to get away with it. And then later on, they say that they allegedly tried to rape her. They didn't rape her. They allegedly tried to rape her. So the story started switching up already.
If I'm not mistaken, it was 3 people she claimed, and then they ended up just 2 other men who didn't have nothing to do with the story.
It was 3 people she claimed, but it was 2 men. One name is Tony Hallwell, and the other one's Isaiah Pike. Those are the 2 men that she has said they tried to rape her. But the 3rd man, I think, is the one that they held captive or whatever. Because Isaiah
grabbed these men out of the blue. They had
out of the blues because of it. Ellen eventually tried to pay them all and give them sex. They said they did not want it. When the black men refused, that's when she cried rape. And she falsely accused them. Okay? Even after the pastor tell everybody that, this is what she do in the city of Oxfordville and this and that, his word was not good enough because he was black. even though he was well known. And the crazy thing about this story, before I continue, is they say that they both have, I guess they're both church Baptists behind, like that's they're Baptist Christian. But do you see how race play a role? It doesn't even matter if you're a Baptist Christian. This black pastor was well known, everybody loved him, but because he was black and the color of his skin, they turned against him, like how they turned against Jesus. Just saying, just putting it out there real quick, because okay. Now let's continue that part. Yeah. They call him. Okay, let me see. Now, not only did they try to kill the pastor, they tried to tie him around the horse and pull him, because that's what they used to do back in the day. They used to tie a horse and pull the pastor. But luckily, the sheriff of that town has saved the pastor by locking him up, so he doesn't get killed by these mob or whatever they call. But we know what they're white supremacists. That's what they are. They're terrorists. After the pastor was attacked, the rumor started spreading throughout the racist community. Black people were locked up, and it was another rumor that was told that it was a bunch of black people in a local church at a barbecue, and they're planning to set fire to the white town, which again was another lie. It was a lie. And so armed white men started patrolling the street, terrorizing black people all around the place. So some black people was actually armed themselves because they wanted to protect their property and who they are, because you're not going to come in and do what you have to do. But so later they say that the man Tony Howey had confessed and said that he did assault Ellen Wright, which was a lie, because back in those days, racist white officers, what they do is they try to lynch them with the rope. That's a mark to threaten them so that they can plead guilty. That was a real thing. Anyway, let's continue. But okay, this report was actually told September 5th, 1912. I want you guys to listen to this, because I'm going to show you how this thing switched up. The report was told September 5th, 1912. Just four days. On September 9th, 1912, another young woman named Cillie Mae Crow, 18-year-old, allegedly was attacked by another young man. His name was Ernest Knox. He was 16-year-old black teenager. And what happened is they say, where am I at? They say Cillie Mae Crow was walking home and was attacked by Ernest Knox, even though there was no object shown. There is no object found. They say he used a pocket knife. That wasn't found, or nothing. No witnesses, no rape result, nothing. Nothing was found. Nothing. But I want you guys to see why I'm telling you guys the first story, and then now we add this story, because this story is the one that make it to the news. This is the story because the young white man, the young white lady who was 18-year-old, Cillie Mae Crow. I'm gonna call her Mae Crow, Cillie Mae, because her name just long. Mae Crow was found later on dead. So they say they found her later, September 10th. Mind you that 4 days later, because September 5th is when the allegedly of the rape, right? And Tony Howey say he assaulted Ellen, okay? The first white woman. Now the second white woman, Mae Crow, was found dead on the 9th. And they say they later on found her body on the 10th, 1912. Next morning, she was half naked, covered with leaves, face down in dry blood, but still alive. How is that impossible? Okay, it can be possible. But which it doesn't make sense to me. It just don't. Because it was already, she was already raped by a black, because nobody know, but it was assumed that she was raped by a black man who name is, and I say his name, Ernest Knox. Okay, I want y'all to follow me because I'm going somewhere with this. So they're looking for someone to blame. That's what I feel. The same situation, but different. A different white woman, but a different. You know what I'm saying? The same situation. Allegedly, again, another rape by a white woman, by a black man, and a white woman is the one that was struck. Okay, she's the victim. They say that it was a red pocket mirror that was found in a scene, and the cops said it belongs to Ernest Knox. Now, how did you know that red pocket mirror belonged to this young man?
And y'all ain't found no other. You ain't found no knife. You ain't found no rock. You ain't found no DNA evidence. But you just gonna pin this random ass mirror on this man.
So they insisted that they
was it engraved? Did it have his name on it?
Yeah, Ernest Knox.
No, I'm saying it didn't have that. So how would you know?
Allegedly, it was his, girl. I don't know. So they arrested Ernest Knox. They tortured and threatened. And they torture him and force him to lie. Now, remember they forced him to lie, and this is how they forced him to lie. They didn't give him no water. They didn't give him no food. They also tie a rope around his neck until he cannot breathe. We're in 2022, and we still say that I cannot breathe situation, the same situation. They tie a rope around his neck and until he cannot breathe. It is known as torture method Mark Lynch. Am I saying it right?
Lynch.
Mm-hmm. And this is what police officers did back in the day. It was a known thing. It's a known thing. Okay. Cops will use this for a black suspect to get them to plead guilty.
It's similar to plea bills now in the judicial system.
It's just different. Yeah, they don't do but they put the knee. Now they put the knee on you. It's not the rope no more. It's the knee.
And they sit there and give you all this time in jail and torture you in there. But I digress.
Exactly. After Ernest Knox was falsely accused, guilty, and arrested, he at age 16, he was still a baby. The racist town found that it was not enough. They say it wasn't enough. Now they're still making stories up and say that it was 5 young men that was with him because he called them as a witness, which had never happened. So they arrested these 5 young men as suspect too, to torture them. Okay. Now after they tortured them, they actually found them guilty, and they wanted to lynch them as well. Now, in that town, I think it was 12,000 people, 1,001 black, and the rest of them were white. Now,
it's a very small town.
It's a very small town. So what ended up happening is when they were going to assassinate them, because that's what they were going to do, it was only supposed to be the victim family and police officer, everything. But again, it was about 4,000 to 8,000 people. So everybody made sure that they were there. Why? White people, they form to watch it like you going to a ball game. You going to a ball game and you about to pure evil. And it's not every white people. I mean, let me make that clear. But back in the South, till this day, they say it was a racist town. Y'all don't have no God in y'all. But y'all believe in God? No, y'all believe y'all belong to the devil. God children don't do stuff like that. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what year it is. You know, forgiveness is for the Lord. You know, I don't have to. That's for Him. If He gonna forgive you, that ain't nothing to do with me. But this is why. Before I continue, let me finish, and then I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Okay. So it was about 8,000 people that came. 8,000 white people that came to watch these 5 men being lynched. Not only that, but they were spitting on them, they were hitting them before that. After they lynched them, they still wasn't happy. They went around attacking a whole black town. It was a group of white people called the Night Riders. They're the one that come in and the sundown, which we know is the white supremacists because they wear the little hood and then they hide behind the little hood that they go wear.
They don't want us to wear our hoods.
And burn crosses on these people. Bland, okay? They're the one that go out to terrorize them. And they told them that they had 24 hours to leave or they're going to be killed. All this for what? To know that the real killers were white and they were still out there because the real killers were white. They was trying to, now going back to the beginning, Ellen Wright allegedly said she was raped. And all of a sudden, 4 days later, Cecilia May Crow was killed. So you know that it was a setup so that they can blame the black community. They did that on purpose to show that, see, it happened again. It happened again. But because it was a racist town, they didn't even take the pastor word because it wasn't good enough because he was black. So they even tried to kill him. Okay, this is American history that they did not tell y'all. They did not tell us in school, but this is American history. I'm not talking about not just Black American history. This is American history. These are your ancestors. These are people that needs to be held accountable. But here it is that our leaders, the Senate stuff, want to whitewash the truth. Okay, let me continue. But not only did they try to kill them in 24 hours, but listen to this. This is the funny part. It's not funny, but listen to this part. But they threatened to kill them, their family, their livestock, but they did not burn down the homes or the crops or the farmland, so that they can come and steal and live in it. Because back in the day, these are free slaves that know how to, that's good with their hands and crops and know how to plant,
that's because we work their crops.
Exactly.
They were too lazy to do so.
They're smart enough to say, oh no, let's not burn down their houses and their land and their crops because we can take over and keep it as our own. And I want to say this, girl, and I'm going to say this. When you look at, and I'm not judging nobody because generation wealth comes from Black slaves that worked their butt off, and because they were owned to white masters at the time, white people, they gained generation wealth from the back of Black slaves. And a lot of people don't want to admit to that. If you see a wealthy white person stuff, and they know their own history, because I'm not going to say it. Y'all know your history. I'm African. I'm African, and I know money is considered. Come on. I'm African. I know my roots of my history. I know that my grandfather is royalty. I know where I come from. I know where my DNA is. I know where the root of where his name come from. I know the lands that we own. So y'all know this. This is part of history that a lot of people don't want to, especially a lot of our Caucasian brothers and sisters don't want to talk about. You guys, generation wealth didn't come from yourselves. It came from your ancestors that owned Black slaves that did most of the majority of the work or all the work.
I was going to say, majority, all of it.
All of
That's
it.
free labor. You are 100% capitalizing and profiting off of everything. And
Yes.
that's even why when the slaves were free, they still got reparation because now they don't have nobody to work their crops and they don't know how to do it.
Mm.
That's just like a CEO has an assistant that does everything, and then they leave, and now you don't know how to do nothing, and your productivity goes down.
Exactly. So y'all gain your of Black slaves, and that's the truth, and that's the part of American history that we don't want to talk about. And I'm going to stop right there. I want you to continue because I have more to say, but I just want to give them a backstory of Oxfordville and why is it so important. Because what's the Foresight? Is that
Foresight? F-O-R-S.
They got a nursery call it Foresight.
No, not sight. Sight.
Oh, okay.
F-O-R-S-Y-T.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they because till this day they still call it a racist county. They say, a town. They say it's the most racist town in the world, in the entire United States. That's what they call it, and it's just sickening to me because you guys are supposed to, America is so based on we love God.
I don't think it is. I don't know. I don't think it is.
But there's no God in hate. We want to say that white supremacists or Christian. What? Christians of Antichrist? Because they ain't Christians of the one that I love. That's not the same Jesus that we love. Because the Jesus that we love he doesn't do distasteful stuff that God don't like. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
So later on in 1956, that's when the town was flooded. There was a dam that they broke to flood this town. Mm-hmm. And everything is still intact. So they forced these people, you got 24 hours to get out of here. So they had to leave everything. The ones that were able to get out. So there were still churches, homes, banks, schools, buildings, just broke the dam and flooded it. And now it's haunted because that is over. People were killed there. Whoever was still lingering around. Graveyards, grave sites, that they said that they were going to move these graves and never did. Pictures, so in the town now, when the water recedes, you can see that. Even there are people who go and scuba dive, deep sea dive, whatever. All of that stuff is here.
Can I say something about that? Just because you said people are still swimming and stuff. There's no way that down south people, especially Caucasians, that white people don't know about the history behind it. But you know what it is? Remember back in the day when they say that they used to lynch the Black people and that they used to take a piece of their body part as treasure? Mm-hmm. So you guys, whoever is swimming down that lake and stuff like that, you're glorifying the death of these people. You're not.
That's the thing.
You think you're not, but you are, because if you watch it, people were fishing, people was on boats,
kids, everything.
People down there. It is dead people down there, and y'all glorifying on top of, because they say that underneath the water you can still see the towns, you can still see the graveyard, you can still see all this thing. They even try to cover it to the point that they started cutting the branch. So y'all not saying it, but that's what you're doing. You're glorifying the dead and saying, "Oh yeah, that was big. That's what our ancestors did." But here it is that we having a whole picnic and we fishing and we barbecuing and we riding our boats down here.
Yeah, they have. It's set up like but it's Black people down there that's in the water too. It's beyond me.
It's beyond me because y'all don't know better. Ignorance.
There's learned about this a few months after I moved here. I've been here a year. So there's no way that I know about this place in a year if people who was born and raised down here don't know about it. They're along there. First of all, when I drove toward part of like the dam part. I had a feeling that I was there, and I just got like this eerie
feeling. You told me
settling in my spirit. Yes, and I was like, and it's people, houses, they got yachts, and it's schools named after the place, and there's boat rental places all up along, and the place is huge. It is huge. And if to the unsuspecting eye, if you don't know the history, it's beautiful. But because I was already privy to the information, and I can't see the surface. I see way past that surface. And in the year that I've been here, and again, this was actually made into a lake. This in 1956. That wasn't that long ago. Civil rights happened in the 1960s. You know, like this stuff didn't happen that long ago. But since the 90s, I forget. I'm sorry, brain fart. There's been about 500 deaths in this lake. Just in the year that I've been here, there have been multiple deaths. Yeah, because you know how, like, if you go to a beach and you're on the sand and you walk out and then it gradually goes down, you could be there and then walk 2 feet and you're 20 feet deep because it's a town. Like, there's no gradual decline. So you could be on the shore at one point and then walk, and then now you're on top of a church. And there have been reports of people who have been swimming and feeling like that somebody's pulling them down by their feet, by their ankles. That's that haunted stuff. And guess what? My ancestors are unsettled. So now I don't got no pics. And now I'm killing black people. I'm killing white people because they don't know. And that's just like, that's creating a sacred ground. That's sacred ground for real. To me, that's sacred ground.
I mean, any dead body in a place is a sacred ground. Right. You're not supposed to, but here it is that people are glorifying it, and
it's so disrespectful.
Where's the humanity?
It's so disrespectful to not only the black people, but also the natives who came before.
Yes, please talk about.
We are all in the same boat. You know, everybody. They always think that something is theirs, and they help. I was about to cuss. They ain't built jack shit. They ain't did it. They are. You know how I am. Welcome back. You asked me to come on this line. I be having time. I had my tea this morning. Y'all ain't built nothing, but you want to claim everything off the backs of people of color, and that's the natives included. This is not your land, but guess what? You done took it because some white woman cried rape, and because now you were left. You were left with this land, and these people can't even pay the taxes on if they did pay them for their land. It was pennies on the dollar, and that means they can't even go and rebuild somewhere else. That's where the generational wealth comes in at.
Yeah,
we're still down here, but y'all still taking our stuff.
Exactly, and that's the true fact. But I was gonna say something. Why is it that it's like the same scenario all the time? There's always a white woman being raped. Just like Central Park. Remember Central Park? What happened? I'm not talking about the 5 black men that was. No, let's talk about the root of Central Park. It was owned by. It was a black town. Am I wrong or right? I don't know.
I believe it was.
Yeah.
I believe it was.
And something happened. They tear it down and made a park. Then something else happened in the 80s when it's called Central Park, which that movie came out with 5 black men, and allegedly it was they raped a white woman, and they were also locked up. And y'all seen that movie? I forgot the full name of it. So it's always a white woman being raped, and being raped is not something to take easily. Okay, it's a assault. But the right people need to be held accountable.
First of all, you need to not lie about it. How about that?
Exactly. Because But see, God sees everything. You know, He sees everything.
So you can lie. Opinion when it comes to the white woman who falsely accused black men of rape. At that time, white women were very well protected, right?
Yeah, that's where the whole white supremacists came from, because people don't know the history behind it. But before it was a brotherhood, it was the sisters of something. They were not called sisterhood. They were called sisters of something, and they're the one that formed white supremacists. A lot of people don't. We're gonna talk about that some other time. See, we know our history. Go ahead.
Again, theory, but it's the logical one for me. White men had power. They had dominance. They had money. They had wealth. They had land. They owned slaves. Slaves were powerful in their own right, you know, physically, the melanin, the knowledge, the culture, everything else.
Can I say something real quick? Wait. Can I say something real quick? When people don't know this, but when the white people came to Africa, people think that, you know, the Native American welcomed the white, group of people. When they came to Africa, the Africans welcomed them too. But their plan was to kill, steal, murder, which we know what kill, steal, murder is in the word.
Destroy. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when they came to America, the Native Americans, what do they call again? The genders. The Native American. What's the real word for them?
They call them natives, I guess.
I call them natives, but they call it something else. I apologize. I might be saying the wrong term. But they welcomed them.
Gentiles?
What is it?
Gentiles?
No.
Oh, that's
wrong word. No. But they welcomed them. They showed them their ways and their views and how to plant and grow crop, you know, the same thing. When they went to Africa, the Africans showed them the same thing. Y'all need to know your history. And what ended up happening is they didn't just get any black people. They got the smartest, the strongest, the fastest. They went and got the best quality of black people that you can't even imagine. And this is your ancestors. And I'm saying it to you guys. You need to do your history. And then they came here because they know that these people are smart. And they're smart, they're quick on their feet, and they're strong, and it can help them build their foundation. I just want to say that. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Just want to put that out there.
So yeah, you have that with the slaves of the black people, and then you have the white people in power, the white men in power. White women didn't have anything to stand on. They ain't had a leg to stand on because they rode off the backs of their husbands who were wealthy or owned property and owned slaves. They had no work ethic. They had no real education. They were the pretty housewife. So they had no leverage, no power. So if I had nothing to get ahead, if I had nothing, no voice, but I know they're going to do what I say because I'm a white woman, how am I going to use this scenario to get what I want? How am I going to, let me desire this black man, but he turned me down? How dare you? Oh, he raped me. And now the whole damn town is burnt up.
Yeah.
Or killed. Everybody killed for nothing. Do you know that even this whole Carolyn Bryant, I said what I said. Carolyn Bryant, I will never forgive that one. A reporter actually recently went to her and sat down and had, and then her story, she claimed that he came up and wrapped his arms around her waist and did all this other stuff. And she said it was a lie, of course, and that nothing that boy could have ever done would have ever justified what they did to him. She said that out her own mouth.
Wow.
Too late now.
Too late now.
And this was a thing that they do. This is why white fragility, those white tears are so dangerous.
So dangerous. So dangerous. Indigenous people. That's
indigenous. Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry. My Native brothers and sisters. I want to make sure I say the right term because you got, But I want to say this as well. People want to say, oh, forget about slavery. This happened years and years ago. Mind you that we're talking about it because it is Black history. And mind you that we are Christians and we love all our brothers and sisters, white, Black, whatever. I want to put that out there because it's not about the race, but back in the days, racism, which is very strong now because we see it. And
this is why critical race theory is important.
We can't move forward if we do not go to the root of things. And I know it's a very ugly and hurtful and scar, truth, but it is what it is. When 9/11 happened, how about somebody say we forget about 9/11?
The whole
country will go in fit. Right?
The whole thing is 9/11. We will never forget.
The Holocaust, because I'm going to talk about this. How about we say we forget about the Holocaust? So Black history, when we talk about slavery, how dare and just conniving and no empathy, we're not objects. Every one of those group of human or God's people, because in the word it said it. Jesus said they hate me, so of course the world gonna hate you. That verse had to stick with me because every time I watch history and how the Black race is being treated, how the Holocaust is being treated, how the Native Americans are being treated, and all these terrorist attacks that's happening from generation to generation, God have to remind me that you don't belong to this world. You're not of this world. So the world is going to hate you. It's in the word. It's in the word. And that's what keeps me going, saying, okay, I'm glad I'm hated by the world because I don't belong to the world because I belong to him. That's what keeps me going. But America will never heal until we get to the bottom of history, which is still happening now.
This is why they do not want. This is why, especially in the South, they are fighting tooth and nail to not have critical race theory taught in the schools. Why?
They try to whitewash it. You can't whitewash something that's already.
They just don't want to acknowledge it at all, and they're arguing because I see it on the news all the time down here in these little ass counties, and everybody was like, "You don't want to teach hate."
But you guys,
hate is teaching the fact. If the fact happens to be that y'all hate us,
then that's what we're gonna go.
They need to learn that history. How is this child gonna grow up in this county and swim in this lake and not know the history?
Let me tell you something. Let's take race out the way, okay? Let's suppose, okay, you want to take race out of the way. When people throw babies, and look at it as a game and throw it in alligator's mouth to rip apart, how harsh are those people? I'm not even talking about take the race out of the way. You take innocent child and you make it as a sport. And you want people to forget about what? Okay, the word. Did I blur my thing out? Just putting it out there.
It is what it is. That's what it is.
And somebody said, because what did they call again? The night riders. You can't stay out till dawn or whatever like that. But this is our heritage. This is
I hear that term one more time.
We are proud of.
That's what you're saying.
That's what y'all are.
That's what y'all saying. That's when you say this is our heritage. You're saying you're proud of that.
You're proud of that. So you're proud of the hate. You're proud of the the torture. You're proud of all this stuff, but you don't want to talk about it. No, that's not how the world worked. Back in the day, maybe that's how the world worked. But no, that is not how the world worked. Everybody needs to take accountability. And you cannot hide from that. And then, we say that, God bless America. That's our major thing. God does not bless hate.
God don't bless no mess. That's what my mama said.
Because if you don't show love, and showing love is number one. Let's get to the root of things. And I'm still holding our leaders accountable, because it's a lot of things that happen in history that y'all allowed to happen because back in the day. But we're in 2022. Things needs to change. Laws need to change. Black people still have to get a write-off just to vote. Did y'all know that?
I heard about that.
Yeah. And I know that since 2005. When I got really into politics, thanks to my dad. There's so many things about this country that's hidden that y'all need to really, really look deep into it. I love being American. You love being American? I love being American, but let's be honest with you.
Yeah.
I love being a Black American. How about that?
Yeah, okay. This country is trash on so many levels. No, I do not like it.
But it's like we kept saying, but we're not there. But it's taking us too long to get to move forward. I don't want to have my babies, and then still going through this, because see, I'm gonna educate minds in every way, so they know who this country is. God's not going to bless mess. If we say that God, if we stand on God's word, if we stand on who God is, we need to start healing, and it starts from the root down. And if we can't do that, then we cannot heal. We're going to always have friction, segregation, separation, division. And that's not part of God. This is part of Black history, and we wanted to bring, this is a special, I just want to put it out there, that we want to bring out. But this special is something deep, because people, I might lose followers, which I'm fine with, because see, I talk about the truth, and I'm a Christian, and I stand on God's word, not just going to church. I stand on his word. And if you read his word, you will know what I'm talking about. I want to read a verse. So can you just talk to them? I just want to read this verse because I want to put it out there before,
Yeah, sure. Because of the eerie situation, the eerie feeling that I felt like, I'd be so here for the people. And then when I say people, I mean our people. I want this place shut down. I don't know what I got to do. Yes. I don't know who I got to talk to. If you see this, something, I don't know where to start, who to talk to, where I don't know nothing. So if you got anything, and I know that it might be far-fetched, I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash for it, or, resistance. It may not happen, but this is just no.
I'm with you with that. So, John, those who are Christians and those who believe in the word, let's go to John 8:44. John 8:44 say, "You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desire. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth. For there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speak of his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies." Now we look at our history. We want to whitewash a lot of history. So who are you serving? We can't use God name in vain. So our senator, governor, all of y'all, those who want to whitewash it. And I'm so proud of those senators who are saying, no, we're not going to do this. This is part of history and fighting for it. But those who want to whitewash history, and then you think God's going to bless you from the lies that you tell, the murders that happen, continuously happening. Yeah, God's going to hold you accountable because every one of his people, sons and daughters that passed away, you are going to be accountable.
Your blood is on their hands.
Your blood is on their hands.
Your blood is on your hands.
Exactly. And you know, this is, people think that this is the only life. Oh no, there's afterlife.
I'm on a front row seat at the council with Carol and Brian get there. I want popcorn. I want some wine. I just can't.
We'll pray for her. Because as Christians, that's what we do.
I was going to say, you could do that.
And then that's what we said. We said, God has mercy on their souls.
I hope she did. I mean, at least she acknowledged it. And she realized that she lied and admitted it.
And when did she say it now?
She said, huh? Yeah, 20. Exactly. That had Emmett Till's death started the civil rights movement.
Oh, y'all gotta see that movie.
I didn't watch the movie yet, but there was like a three episode series on the whole thing. Though I was very well knowledgeable about the whole Emmett Till.
Be prepared.
Way, they did that boy so terrible.
Another young teenager,
14 years old. They did him so bad.
Ernest Knox, 16-year-old.
His mother, and she has since passed away. And she never had no more kids. Her mother,
like 2003, 2004.
Earlier, she's passed for some time now. She never had any other kids. She ended up being a teacher.
Yeah.
Her only child, and she didn't even want to send him to Mississippi because of this right here. It's sad that he had to endure that. It's sad that she had to endure that. But his death was definitely not in vain. If that had to happen for that civil rights movement to happen, then God gives he knows who to give the battles to.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know any mother who could have done that.
No.
Through that, see that, and then go to, and they show up and call. She was so eloquent and you could never. Carolyn Bryant in court could never.
I want to see Red. No.
See Red. I would have seen I would have been right next to my son immediately. I'm tearing stuff up.
Yeah, you guys have to be prepared to watch. And I know a lot of people be like, "Oh, I don't want to watch slavery movies. I don't want." But guess what? It's not that you're living through it, but it's like acknowledge the suffering of your ancestors. Acknowledge the pain of your ancestors. That should make you strong enough to say, "I will not forget." And I'm so proud of who we are because that's what we say. Say his name. Because you are not forgotten. In the Bible, how many of the prophets, how many of God's people loving that he care about goes? It pain God. People think God, it do. And I'm not even talking about us just being human. If we say we serve a mighty God and we say that, he created all of us, not just because he created all of us doesn't mean we're all his children. Those who are his children knows who they are because he put some kind of remorse in us. He put some kind of like forgiveness in us. He put something in us. Huh?
I said empathy, compassion, sympathy.
Compassion. Because there's no way. When the whole Holocaust happened, there's no way. Those people are strong. The indigenous people, they were strong. Those African people that came here, they were strong because there's no way. He said, I can give you what you can handle. I'm not gonna, girl, I would have been dead. I would have jumped out.
Like they did my son.
Because I was no, but you know, they're strong people. Our ancestors, they're strong people. And they need to be acknowledged, not forgotten, not
acknowledged, respected, uplifted, and not be swam over top of.
And fishing.
Even the cast of Love and Hip Hop rented a yacht.
Ignorance. But see, that's why
I feel like
that's why that lake keep taking people.
That's the TV.
Taking people.
If you ask me, but still, all publicity is not good publicity. Don't do that. Y'all live here. Y'all know the history behind that on me. Why would you have a birthday party or a party or whatever on that lake on here?
It's like saying that they don't matter.
It's just very disrespectful. Remember the movie Poltergeist? You see what happened to the whole damn house? Because it was built over a burial ground. Stop doing this.
Sacred land.
Sacred land. And wasn't it of indigenous people too? If I could remember the movie.
Yeah.
Listen, there's a lot of truth in these movies. Y'all better take
There's a truth in these movies.
Don't think it's just entertainment. They put stuff in plain sight.
So I was watching something on TikTok. And
TikTok.
I love TikTok.
TikTok.
Look, like, why you be on TikTok? I'm like, mind your business. Jumping out. Mind your business, yeah. But so it was this this group of white family, or I don't know who they are, and they wanted to ride across this town, and the African people that was there was like, no.
Oh, on the bikes,
because it was a secret land. Like you're not gonna ride it, and they stopped them. But imagine if they didn't stop them, something would have happened to them. It's not because just a respect for them to say no. People think, oh, why they doing that? Because how about they went down there and then they don't come back. When somebody says
that happens,
it's your land, respect it, especially because you don't belong there. When I go back home, certain places I don't go because it's a secret land. It's a respect thing.
On TikTok, I saw about this man of Asian descent. I think he was American though. He was out on a missionary and went to this island, and they were like, "Don't go on this island because just don't want this island. They're gonna kill you. They're gonna kill you." But he was like, "Oh, I just want to bring the word of God to these people, and amen for you. You just should have sent the pamphlet. God bless you for doing the work. You went on this island and never came to help back. Leave people where they be. If they wanted to be bothered, they'd reach out to you. Please leave these people alone.
Please do. Please
leave their land alone." My mom used to say, "Leave well enough
for them." You know what the word says?
Alive.
The words say that, yes, he wants people to go out there and be evangelists and, speak the word of God and stuff like that. But if you can't, it's like, I'm very spiritual, you know that. If I can't reach out to somebody, I just pray for them on the low. God, whatever why can't you do that? He said he wants people to be witnesses and go out and preach the word. But he also, but if you can't, everybody's not assigned to you. Everybody's not assigned to you. That part. And because they're not assigned to you, he said pray for them silently in your own house.
From them, in their land.
Girl.
That's
fun. It was fun. I missed you. She lives in Atlanta, y'all. So I don't see her, but we can do, Zoom. And I miss you. One of the history, because that history was really good. Like I literally did my research. I've been reading.
I called her when I was driving over. I was like, girl.
Yeah.
She didn't know, and I had to tell her about it. And I was just like, this is some bull crap.
And I said, you know what? Let me do my research. And that's part of American history. And I don't want to just say Black history, because Black history is American history. At the end of the day, they're American people. Okay? That's what you guys, that's what we are. And we need to honor those people. Those stories, even though it's harsh, we have to talk about it. Like Native American was whitewashed too. Come on, let's be honest with you. Until the truth of the indigenous people came out and said, no. Columbus, who? What?
Yeah.
Who killed and slaughtered? He was dumb. He never belonged here.
They take everything, but they ain't take the spices or soup.
Why you know, I can't ever be serious with
You
you.
asked me to come, then you out.
Anyway, remember they didn't bath at the time because they said the water was poisoned. It's bad for milk. Yeah.
And they still not washing the bottom half of their body, even till today. Make it make sense. You don't have to put this part in there, but I said what I said. I gotta go to the bathroom.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. We love you guys.
Until next time.
Until next time. See ya.
Bye.